2024 marks the 20th anniversary of what fans consider to be the best era of Cartoon Network. And, quite frankly, I have to agree. And that's the CN City era. Now, if you've either been living under a rock or you weren't alive during this time, CN City was an era of Cartoon Network that lasted from 2004 to 2006. And it's called that not because of the shows themselves, but what they would air during commercial breaks. And by that I mean this era was named for a series of bumpers featuring all the Cartoon Network characters that existed during that time, all interacting with each other in one big CGI city. These bumpers had a perfect and even seamless blend of super realistic CGI backgrounds of the scenes from different Cartoon Network shows, all provided by Animal Logic, and wonderful traditional 2D animation, of course provided by Cartoon Network Studios. Yeah, you can tell Cartoon Network had a much bigger budget back then. Sometimes the bumpers would be super short and aired specifically for whatever show was on. Or they would be long and have Cartoon Network characters interacting with each other and getting into some crazy shenanigans. It was here that you can see shit like Fred Jones challenging Coop's giant robot with the Mystery Machine, Johnny Bravo and Samurai Jack making small talk on laundry day, Frankie struggling to find a parking space, Dexter throwing shade at Professor Utonium, the list goes on. It's one of those moments where you just had to be there. CN City had pre-existing Cartoon Network shows like the Powerpuff Girls, Ed, and Eddie, Dexter's Laboratory, Billy and Mandy, Teen Titans, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Cartoon Network shows that premiered during that era, like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Hi Hi Puffy Amayumi, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, Ben 10, Camp Lazlo. Hell, even classic characters like Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo, the Justice League, and Looney Tunes. Okay, Duck Dodgers, but it still counts. What I think is significant the most about the CN City era is that this was a time when Cartoon Network not only had a wide variety of shows to air, which sadly says a lot compared to how Cartoon Network is now. What a shame. But also, they all felt connected together, as if they're one big happy animated family. Now, granted, there have been a lot of moments prior to 2004 where Cartoon Network characters interacted with one another, but this whole era was completely dedicated to that theme. However, even after the CN City era ended in 2006, it did not necessarily stop the trend of bumpers and short animations and stuff featuring Cartoon Network characters interacting with each other. Quite the opposite, in fact. In the years that followed, every now and then, there would still be like promos and bumpers featuring Cartoon Network characters interacting with each other. It's just not really as often as before. But what made CN City stand out on its own is the fact that it made Cartoon Network a literal home where all the cartoon characters from that channel lived and have fun and do all sorts of cool shit. You can tell how happy I was when CN City was not only referenced in OKKO Let's Be Heroes crossover Nexus special, but Cartoon Network also brought back some CN City bumpers during their 30th anniversary livestream in 2022. Overall, even 20 years later, it's wonderful that people still talk and reminisce on how awesome this era of Cartoon Network was, is, and always will be. For me personally, the CN City era introduced me to many of my favorite Cartoon Network shows that I still continue to watch and enjoy to this very day. So needless to say, CN City will always have a special place in my heart. Happy 20th anniversary!